Hello, this is Detatan from VP Universe. So I'm here to in this video series for DMD colorization with Colorizing DMD and the Serum format. So we'll cover in this video the tools that will be useful for drawing masks and also to do the colorization by itself. So let's have a look, and I'm using again the Scared Stiff project demo that I will be sharing in this video. In the video description you will find the link to download it, so do not hesitate to have a look at it and use it for your reference, and also to do some tries. Experiment the software is the best way to know how to use it. So we're here, and I took this example. So the bunny beast animation here, that is fixed content only, and just here you can see the jackpot with the score, and of course this is dynamic as the score can change. So for the fixed content frames, I don't want to use any masks, so I'm putting here mask on known, saying that the detection will be done on the full frame that you can see here. So each time the raw frame is exactly this one, it will send out this colorization. For the jackpot one, let's use this one, it will be a bit clearer. Of course, the content that we have here below is dynamic, so I will want to use a mask to hide what is not needed for the detection. So you see that only the upper parts for this one, and I'm using mask number 0 to do so, is a mask that was already used in the project. So I'm using the same mask to do the detection. I could perhaps use another one, because this is something that is key. Before drawing a new mask, remember to have a look whether you've got some other already existing masks. Optimizing the number of masks is key to have a good usage of the project. So this one could be useful, but you have only very small part of jackpot that is highlighted this way. So perhaps the mask number 0 was the best option, and this is why I decided in the end to use it. Well, for the purpose of this video, let's use a new mask, and we will be using the tools that you can see here. So it's very straightforward. Rectangle tools to draw an area that you want to hide. Be aware that when you're hiding some content, depending on the game, it can be a bit wider. So I can just increase a bit the size, and this is how I ended up having a mask that was looking a little like that before. It doesn't have to be a rectangle, it can be whatever. So for any reasons you need to have some points here and there for the detection to hide, yeah, you can do it, no problem with that. You can use also the magic wand if you really want to have a very specific mask that will be bound to selection. So with the magic wand you can easily select all the pixels that are in the same color. If you've selected, or perhaps on some screens, it could be easier to revert the selection. So you select, for example, everything here in black, and then you want to revert your selection. Then you hit this button that will revert the selection. Again, not very difficult to use. One thing that you might not find yourself, and which is very important for the usage of Colorizing DMD, you will see that you will have to use your keyboard, and this is why there is this little screens here that I've put for you to keep track about what I'm doing. You see that I'm hitting here left button of the mouse, so I'm drawing some masks. If I want to undo or to remove part of the mask, I hit the Shift button of my keyboard, left or right doesn't matter. So, and while holding Shift, I am using left button of the mouse, and then I can remove some part of the masks. So this is very important, and you will see that it will be used also in colorization mode. So Shift to remove. Shift is to remove part of what you've been doing. If ever you've done an error, you've got here the undo and redo. So you can undo up to 16 actions, and you can redo, of course, the same. So it's like in any Windows application, you can also use the Control Z to undo and Control Y to redo. So again, very straightforward. Let's switch now to so I won't be using this one. Let's put it back to 0. And now let's have a look about the colorization. So for this one, I will be using perhaps this frame that will be a little nicer to have a look. So you see that there is a part that is drawn here where the bunny beast will be hitting that guy. And how do you do when you want to colorize? First, for colorization, you will need to select a color. So here you've got a palette with 64 colors that you can use, and we'll be covering a bit more in details the palette usage and the sets that were here. But let's say that you select one color. I will use for this video the monochrome draw mode that will enforce to use this selected color. And here are the tools that you will be using. So again, very straightforward: point, line tools, rectangle tool. Rectangle can be filled or not. And the same with the circle tool that can be filled or not. So very easy to use. You also have the magic one that will be detecting all pixels with the same continuous color. So it's a way to colorize very rapidly and efficiently an empty space. Control Z works exactly the same as we've seen before. It's exactly the same tool. Control Z or Control Y to undo and redo the actions that you've been doing. As I was saying before, the left, if I hit Shift on the keyboard and use the left button of my mouse, it will undo the coloring that I'm doing right now. So exactly what he'll be doing is not exactly undoing the color. What I would say is put back the raw frame. So if I do the same combination of tools, so Shift plus left button, you will see here that it will happen, and you will see here the orange box, the orange color, sorry, as on the raw frame. Again, Control Z if I want to cancel. To show you a bit more on a more colorized frame, let's have a look at the leaper. For the leaper, for example, if you have a look at the raw frame that we can see here, the raw frame, and it's very convenient to swap between the two modes, because when you are in mass detection mode, you will always see the raw frame. So this is the raw frame, for example, for this one, so with a black background, and I wanted for this colorization to add some water around that. Because it looks a bit more brilliant this way, and to do it I use a different colorization tools here. And what I wanted to illustrate here is, again, when I hit Shift button and left button of the mouse, it will go back to the raw frame color. So in this case, you see that the raw frame is not in orange, it's in blue. Because here, if I have a look at the palette, the raw frame uses, let's say, the 4 first colors here in the palette, and on this one I changed that to blue, and this is why it happens blue here. But again, it is the raw frame that is displayed here. So Shift button to do that. Lastly, I would like to introduce a bit, and I will cover that perhaps later on the video, but as we are just talking about the tools, beside the Shift button, the Control button will be also useful. The Control button will help you to create a selection zone, and this selection zone will be useful for the copy. So let me switch to another frame so you can see better, clearer. So here with the Control tool I am using, and the left button, I am drawing a selection zone area that will be used to copy and paste. If I want to undo part of or to adjust this selection zone, I will hit Control plus Shift and then the left button, and then it will remove. So again, makes a lot of buttons to say so, but to experiment, it's very, very, very convenient, and you will see that you will very rapidly use it. So maybe what I can put here is a quick reminder and see. So Shift to undo or to redo, to undo, sorry, some detection mask. So if I hit Shift left button, I undo part of the mask. If I'm in colorization mode, it's the same. It will undo part of the color. Control for selection and Control plus Shift to adjust the selection. So that's it for the tools. Again, what is key is for you to experiment these different tools. Do not forget about the shortcuts on the buttons of the keyboard. It will be key for you. And we'll cover in the next videos all the other tools that we have here in the toolbar.